Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, the water, Babal, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, which we know is 100% truth, the true word of our Lord and Savior. Do a lesson a day on a circulating video that's it's been on social media. And it's coming out of Chicago, which we know Chicago, they make that the focal point of a lot of the degeneracy of Jake. They always go to Chicago when they want to show Jake in the lower state, which we know all our cities pretty much damn near throughout Babylon the Great are they're detestable, man. And this is a situation that was created by Esau Edom by taking the man out of the house, by taking away jobs, giving this woman this independent mindset where she think that this feminist mindset where she think that she could be independent as long as she live off the government or trust in the government and she don't need a man in the house. That rule was implicated back in the, I think, early 1960s, and now we see the manifestation of it. We see the destruction that it causes, especially when you go into these inner city ghettos, man, which we like to call man-free zones, where they don't have any fathers over the household, or where the women head the household. You have some women that do work, but she's not there to maintain the children. So the children are raised up by the streets, they're raised up by gang culture, they're raised up by TV, social media, and all these negative influence on the kids. So you get the byproduct what we have today. And then a lot of them, they just rely wholly on the system. They turn 16, they repeat the cycle of having kids at the age of 16. Once they turn 18, they get Section 8, they get the all the teats, that the Lord is talking about, the Section 8, the EBT card, and the more kids she have, the more EBT she get, the more money she gets from the government, as long as she don't have a man in the household, as long as she has these bastardized kids. And so you have a situation where after generation, man, you got kids of nothing but degeneracy, man, and that bleeds over into the culture of the whole Babylon, the whole culture, man. And we know this from the social media influences into the music that they push out. When we talk about we talking about those small hats that are on top, that orchestrates all this. You have what we have today, man. Just a degenerate type culture, man, on our people. And not to say that's all Jakes, but that's who they like to focus on, because they like to spread that wickedness, But it really is a reflection of Babylon the Great, of being here in Babylon the Great, man. So, like I said, let me get to the point I'm trying to say about the woman out of Chicago. I think she had 2 kids, and she went to pick her son up from school. I guess he was being bullied, and the kids started following her, man. And you can see like a demonic spirit on these kids, And it got to the point where they trapped this woman and her child, man. The woman, like, she was kind of in her maybe late 20s, and the kids maybe somewhere between the ages of 12 and 7, maybe younger than that. But the kids that was following them, I guess it was his classmates, and they had been bullying him. So they cornered him and the mother on the fence right down the street, and they're recording now, mind you, and they posting it. Then they started attacking the mother and the child, And you see a lot of Jakes, they watched the video, and Jake, was like distraught, they, mad about it, But this is the culture that, we followed it behind and created, and now we see it manifested into the children, man. These kids don't care. They're heartless, man. And they was just stomping and kicking the mother, which, like, she was pregnant, but they didn't care. I'm not sure if she was pregnant or not. And the child, they started beating up both the kids and all that. I think eventually she ended up having to go to the hospital behind the beating. But that's the culture that we breed here in Babylon the Great, man. That's why the Lord has had to come back and destroy this place, man. There's no fixing, there's no cure for this place, man. I think what they say, like, when something has cancer, it's malignant. Once it's malignant, I think it's malignant, the word, where there's no cure for it. Pretty much they put you in a hospice and let you die out. But let me go to Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And that's a future prophecy, man. Wild beasts. You're starting to see coyotes and all those things within the city limits now. People seeing like wild animals inside the city because they've been displaced. And then that you got women that's bringing forth monsters. That's twofold, because a lot of women through a lot of these medications, are bringing forth kids, that look like, with 3 arms, missing an eye or extra eye or just all type of abominations. But also, the kids like a mentality of a monster, man. That's what them kids were. They were like little brute beasts, man. These little hellions, and these kids are raised up off Similac, not breast milk. Their mother goes to the stores, with the EBT card, she buy nothing but junk food and processed food, a bunch of garbage, man. They feed these kids that shit, and that's what you get, man. At the end of the day, man, you get kids that don't sympathize, playing Madden in these Xbox games all day, and they're out of touch with reality, man, and they have no feelings, at that age, man. You can imagine, as a child, we did wild shit, growing up, especially the place where I grew up at. But never in our wildest mind would you see us going after attacking a parent, anything of that nature, You went to like Corey Holcomb saying, you went to a child house to fight that child, and his mother, one of your peers and his mother opened the door, you respectfully asked, can he come out or whatever. But you showed respect. You didn't bum rush the house and go in there and kick, beat the parent up in the child. That didn't happen in my time, man. You wait till they came out, y'all saw each other, and what happened. But now, man, it's just a whole different world, man, and that's what we're producing. That's what this culture, man, this culture of death is producing little monsters, man, that bring forth death. And it's going to get worse, man, unless the Lord step in and destroy this place, man. Going to go to Isaiah chapter 3, the prophet Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are the oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And so, like I said, they took the man out of the household. They put the women in charge. If she's not working and not spending time with the kids, even when she's there, she's not being a parent of the child. She's not correcting that child like it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a father in that house that's supposed to rule over the whole household, man. That set boundaries. And women, they rule off of emotion. Men, we rule off of thoughts. We think things through before we implement things. Women, she'll do something off of total emotion, man. She passes that on to her child. That's why you got these ghetto ass communities, rat communities, man, raised by the matriarch, and it's just total chaos, man, total hell in these communities, man. It's like a damn nightmare on Elm Street. When you go in those communities, you can make a horror movie off of some of these neighborhoods that a lot of these jakes are being raised up in, man. That's what it's totally become. Totally wicked, man. Goddamn Stephen King or Wes Craven movie out of these project communities, that our people are being reared up in. And that's what happened when you break the order that Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai has set up. You're supposed to have that man in the household. But Esau Edom knew exactly what he was doing when he was taking the Jake man out of the household, man. That goes for you so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, in the barrios, in the ghettos, or in the reservations, man. Same fucking thing, man. Same problem. Esau Edom, which orchestrates all this and pushes this culture of death on our people. I got one last precept I'm follow up on it. One last precept I'm gonna go through and give a breakdown on that. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 23 and 24. And this is talking about Elisha. And he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there come forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. Now these little children now, this is the prophet of the Lord, and they're mocking the prophet of the Lord, man, not showing any respect. And so Elisha, he was already distraught because, he had just lost, I think it was Elijah that got sent up in the chariot, man, and he was already, feeling some kind of way. And then here come these little hellions, man, and they mocking him and taunting him. So this is what Elisha did. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 34. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood and tore 42 children of them. So it came out 2 she-bears. And you know what a she-bear is? That's a mother, of cubs, man. And that's the last thing you want to run into. And they came in and tore those 42 kids, man, tore them 42 children up, man, tore them apart, tore them to pieces. And that's a curse, and Elisha didn't play with them, man. That's the same way it was with those little hellions, man. People are gonna start putting these little kids, these little children to death because there's no cure for a lot of them, man. That's what it's coming down to. And that's why the Lord's gonna come destroy this place. He's not gonna have any mercy on whether you're of old age or young. If you wicked and you hadn't repented and you bearing these bad seeds, man, the Lord is going to scorch it, man. It's like scorch earth. Like I did another video before in the past, like I said, I live down in the so-called country now. And I got like a field behind my house, and every now and then the field will get real bad. But I see what a lot of people, what they do when they're something real bad, it gets a lot of briars and thorns and everything and choke out the grass. And what a lot of the people would do, they would burn up that field. They'd put a protective boundary around it, they'd set the field on fire, and it would burn everything down to the ground. And then when the spring would come, it would be beautiful green grass that would come up, and instead, it would burn back the briars and stuff, give the grass an opportunity to grow. Actually, I did that by mistake one time. I was burning some stuff in the backyard, and I left, came back, and the whole field caught on fire. That's when I first moved down there. I wasn't very familiar how to do shit in the country. And fire department had to come and put it out. But I noticed when the springtime came, because this happened like in the late fall, when the grass was brown and all that. So in the early spring, it was just a beautiful green carpet of grass that grew over that field, man. And I'll never forget it, man, how beautiful it was, man. It's like, so that's the same thing the Lord is going to do with Babylon the Great, man. It's going to scorch earth, this place, as the Lord has said he's going to do, man. He's going to burn everything back. He's going to turn it into a desert, same as he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. This place is Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, man. This place has become wicked as hell. And therefore, the Lord is going to bring a sore destruction upon it. And that's why we look to be saved out of it. That's why we look to be the Lord's elect, man. But that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, Elisha, he sent the she-bears and put them kids to death, man. Lord has no bearing on, whether you're young or old, be wicked. And Lord is going to bring judgment. So Lord will, let's edify with that. Say shalom.